Hello, it's me again, back with another 40k rep.
Brilliant. Marvellous.
Tempest of War this time, and I haven't used Orks in quite a while, so I thought it was high time to crack out the green nuttas once more. Let's take a look at the rosters. It's the first time I've not taken Gaz in my Orc list for a while. Although I think he's practically mandatory now into Armor of Contempt, I just wanted a bit of a change. Here are our mission rules. Claim the battlefield, which is fairly straightforward, hammer and anvil deployment, and we only get CP if our warlord is on the battlefield. Here's my deployment. The bottom and center ruins are obscuring. Man, it was a tight squeeze fitting everything behind terrain, and I ended up putting the squighogs and one unit of boys up top. The Defcopters are in deep strike. A closer look at the congested central ruins, which includes the truck full of Meganob truck boys, my first time trying them out. Black Templars deployment, mostly behind the central ruins. Note the gnarly Vindicator laser destroyer. I've terrorized this opponent's Templars and Death Guard with my Thousand Suns laser destroyer, and it seems he's been impressed enough with its performance to pick one up himself. Can't say I'm relishing facing the frickin' thing with my own army.
I know a killer when I see one.
Templars get the first turn. Their cards are No Retreat No Surrender, Storm Hostile Objective, and Hold the Line. Oh, we then realized he had to redraw Hold the Line, but I didn't get a pick of the new card. In movement, his Impulsor full of Assault Intercessors zooms onto the top center objective. In the top right, his Storm Speeder moves onto the terrain so it can see across the board. The Laser Destroyer trundles forward so it can see through the ruins. Everything else hides behind the central ruins for the glory of the Emperor.
I'm camouflaged right now.
Shooting's pretty annoying, as I quickly realize I should have used some of that sweet Tempest CP to reserve some of my units, so that they weren't trailed back so far behind the terrain. As it happens, the Laser Destroyer can see a dread, and easily destroys it. It blows up, killing 3 boys and doing 2 wounds to the other dread. Even more worryingly, the Storm Speeder and the Impulsor can both target my kill rig, due to its massive base sticking out behind the terrain.
My guys are under attack.
Lesson learned, when the obscuring terrain's as piddly as this, I really need to deep strike this massive thing instead. I get very lucky, as the Storm Speeder somehow does 10 frickin' wounds to it, and then the Impulsor puts 2 multi-melta wounds through, but rolls a snake eyes, so the rig survives on 4 wounds. My turn 1 cards are Storm Hostile Objective, Secure No Man's Land, and Assassination. As I'm sending a lot of units forward, and I want the truck Meganobs to be able to reach the Impulsor this turn, I call the WA. Here's how the top center of the board looks after movement. Pretty crazy being able to shove Meganobs that far up in one turn. My bottom units waddle forward, except with 1 unit of boys hanging back for later turns. The Wazbomb flies across to the enemy backfield. I don't think there's anywhere it can go where it can't be shot by basically his whole army next turn, so whatever. In this position, it can target any of his vehicles except the Impulsor. A nice wide shot of the battlefield. In Psychic, I try and give the Meganobs +1 attack, but I think it gets denied with a strat or something. In Shooting, the Big Mech rolls pretty well with his shock attack gun, and does a few wounds to the exposed Storm Speeder, so I then use the Wazbomb to successfully finish it off. The Meganobs then easily make their charge, and make short work of the Impulsor.
This is awesome!
They did need the help of a 2 CP strat to get the job done, though. Can't remember if it was the exploding hits on 5s, or +1 damage. Anyway, this turn I score 5 points for Storm Hostile Objective, while Templars also pick up 5 for completing No Retreat No Surrender. Templars turn 2 cards. They still have Storm Hostile, and now draw Investigate Site, and Raise Banner. In movement, The Templars come out in force and stake their claim on the central objective.
Hate those people.
The Redemptor also comes out of hiding.
Hate those
dreadnoughts.
One unit of Termies deep strikes in the center, and the other one comes down up top near the Meganobs. I think he's also given the Blade Guard obsec, unless I'm misremembering. In shooting, the laser destroyer takes aim at the Wazbomb, and easily mullers it. Damn, this tank is pretty good.
Have you listened to your own shit?
The rest of shooting sees the kill rig easily destroyed, followed by 3 of the 5 Meganobs. Yeah, I know there's 3 left in this pick, just trust me. The assault intercessors then charge the Meganobs. They kill 1, who retaliates and kills 3 of the 4 Space Marines. Templars then pop a strat which does mortal wounds on a 5+ for each model slain, and proceed to roll 3 5s, slaying the last Meganob. Okay then. So Templars scored 2 of their objectives this turn, and also got 9 for primaries, so their total at the end of turn 2 is 24. My turn 2 cards are Secure No Man's Land. Grind them down.
Ew.
And no prisoners.
Ew.
Here's my turn 2 movement. Oh, I score a total of 14 for primaries this turn too, which is nice. At the top center, my Squig Hogs prepare to devour the last assault intercessor. In the center, the Beast Boss and Death Dread get ready to charge in, and at the bottom, the second unit of Meganobs advances onto the objective to score me Secure No Man's Land, as the Death Coptas deep strike in behind them. I'm a bit cowardly with the Killiclaw War Boss, though, as I feel he'll probably be needed for a subsequent wave of attacks, so I keep him out of sight behind my home ruins. Psychic's uneventful. In shooting, the 5 Death Coptas target the Redemptor, which has already taken a wound earlier from its own plasma gun. I roll above average for the number of shots, firing off 25 rockets into the damn thing. Here's the before picture.
Start the damn
Shooting.
before I piss myself.
And here's the after picture. Yep, not a single wound goes through.
Fucking hell.
It's helped in large part by a 5+ feel no pain he'd put on the Dreadnought earlier. I was pretty disheartened, but I've just done the basic math and even without the feel no pain, I'd only do about 4 wounds on average, which can then be healed next turn by the Tech Marine, so it all means pissing buggery squid anyway. Fuck's sake. So in combat, the Squig Hog Riders charge in and obviously completely muller the Intercessor. In the center, the Dreadnought fails its charge, but the Beast Boss makes it. Here's the before picture. And here's the after picture. Phew, the boss done good. Interestingly, I didn't roll very well at all, and got precisely 0 mortal wounds, but my opponent proceeded to fail about 90% of his 3+ saves, and all but one of the Termies got squished. Ah, if only the Dreadnought could have got in, to finish them off. Anyway, it's a turn up for the books. This turn I end up on a total of 24 points, putting me neck and neck with the Templars. Templars' turn 3 cards are Defense Stronghold, Overwhelming Firepower, and Storm Hostile Objective. In movement he just presses forward with most of his army. The Squig Hogs and most of the remaining Meganobs get taken out in shooting, then the Termies charge and destroy the topmost unit of Ork boys. And in the center, the Blade Guard charge in to help out the Termies, who had one guy resurrected this turn too. Man, what a frickin' cool picture. Welp, these chumps ain't no match for the mighty Beast Boss, who takes 3 wounds but manages to finish off the remaining 2 Termies.
He can do a lot. Boy, can he's talented.
With a big 14 primaries this turn but just 5 secondaries, Templars end their turn 3 on 43 points. My turn 3 cards are No Prisoners, No Retreat, No Surrender, and Hold the Line. Why does it feel like my Orks just aren't going to be able to feasibly complete any more secondaries against this army? Right, my turn 3 movement. We're gonna need some pretty big things from the Killiclaw War Boss, the Death Dread, the Big Mech, and the Coptas this turn.
It's go time.
At the top center, the truck skids in front of the Termies. The idea here is supposed to be like, I dunno, slow them down or something? The truck isn't really big enough to do this, though, as they can easily charge round it next turn. The point is, I moved the truck. Okay? Stop going on about the frickin' truck. Well, I'm happy to report that shooting is another frickin' god-awful shitshow again. The Coptas do barely anything, and the useless piece of shit Big Mech seems to have rolled 3 once. Whether that's hits or wounds I can't remember, but either way it's not exactly good, is it?
Obviously terrible.
I know it, don't I know it?
Looks like I bring the Redemptor down to 7 wounds this turn. Wow. It's okay lads, we still have Decrump in phase. The War Boss and Death Dread make their charge into the Blade Guard. Ha, seeing how my Beast Boss messed up the Humies all on his own, this should be a piece of cake. Well not quite. The turn ends with no Blade Guard dead, and my Beast Boss butchered.
Little trouble there.
This wound roll from the Death Dread didn't exactly help. The Blade Guard were able to muller the Beast Boss as their sergeant has the 3 damage sword relic thingy, and in return my guys just whiffed, with any vaguely non-whiffalicious dice being shrugged aside by contemptuous armor. So, I did score 9 for primaries this turn, but I'm now trailing behind on 33 points. Turn 4, and Templars draw Secure No Man's Land. They already scored Defend Stronghold, but I'm not sure what their new card was once we realized that. I'll make this simple, they score all 3 secondaries this turn, as well as another 14 for primaries. Very short and simple turn here. The Rabid Marines prepare to wipe out my central units, as the Redemptor chooses to withdraw back to the safety of the Templar lines for some reason. Shooting seems to be weirdly ineffectual. I think the Redemptor and the Vindicator must have just whiffed or something.
Can't get rid of the whiff!
The turn ends with the center easily and mercilessly crushed in glorious combat, for the eternal glory of Khorne. I mean Mork. I mean Gork. I mean the Emperor. Love me Emperor. Simple as.
You fucking what?
My turn 4 cards are Bring It Down, Hold the Line, and Defend Stronghold. Will I score another 9 primary points this turn? Obviously with the piss poor ragtag units I have left, I don't score Bring It Down. I could potentially grab Defend Stronghold next turn depending on how well the Termies roll for their inevitable charge as they trudge towards my home objective, but it isn't really necessary to find out, as I concede at this point. Let's take a look at the scores. So the Templars win with a big 82-52 victory. As you can see, it's really the secondaries where I fell down, only scoring 2 cards, and scoring no secondaries at all in turn 3 and 4. I was using CP to discard a bad secondary each turn too, I think. So it was fun to get the green gits out of their box again, but man, I really felt hampered without the AP bump from Speed Wah, which I've been getting from Gaz because you might as well double dip on the Wah, right? Plus he slaps in combat and has the phase cap goodness. Armor of Contempt just felt a little too much to deal with without that. Rockets going in at an effective AP1 frickin' sucks. I'm sure a great player can make Orks work without Gaz, that player's probably not me though. Anyway, thanks to my opponent for the great game, and thanks for watching my report. I don't have any more in the bag at the moment, but I hope to get another one up before Christmas. Bye for now.